Our best times to hunt and fish.
Oh,
Like, huh?
we're live.
Oh yeah, we are live.
Welcome back. I named the podcast episode Two Married Men. Yep, there's a ring. Y'all have to go get ring tattoos now.
Yeah, might do that like y'all did on the 1 year.
Not bad. We got both ours for $50 a piece.
Yeah, I know. Like you said, your ring's the size of a shotgun shell.
Yeah.
Figured out mine is the size of a penny.
Size of a penny. So you got little tiny fingers.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't have enough ammo to see which one it's closest to, so it might be like a 20 gauge shell, maybe.
Gotta get that full 12 gauge finger.
And sausage fingers.
Well, did you get your tackle box set up?
Yeah, I did get it all set up. I ended up doing like one of soft plastics, like the ones I use the most, a few flukes, a lot of different worms, a few crawls, and then I did one of like hooks and weights, and then I did one with like some crankbaits and stuff.
You get out and fish it all over there, or you just do stuff around the house?
No, actually, I had a meeting at 6:30 this morning. Had to go over kickoff stuff, and then since I'm married now, we had to go get Jordan's name changed, and for the Social Security stuff, and then she's gonna go to the DMV tomorrow because they're closed today.
She might be able to do the DMV stuff online. I can't remember if Elizabeth had to do it in person or not.
I know she said she was looking, and apparently you can't change your name online, just like your address. But I don't know.
You got to change your carry permit address then too.
Yeah, when we went to we also turned in our marriage license back to the court today, and it's the same like probate court that you can do your carry license at. And I asked the lady, and she was like, you can, you don't have to. Like, it's not really a big deal. But if you do change it, you have to go back to the county that issued it, and they change it for you.
Oh, that's annoying. Did you do it in Columbus?
Yeah, because that's what my address was on my license.
Yeah,
so
pain in the butt. I don't know when you'd be down here during the week when it's open.
Yeah, I know. Unless I came like a Monday or Friday before school or pre-planning starts again.
Mm-hmm.
I still got
constitutional carry, so technically.
Yeah, technically I don't need one, but it makes buying guns and ammo a whole lot faster.
Yeah.
But I do need to go back up to Woodstock still and get that camera.
Yeah. Have you gotten any free pictures in July, or you already used them all up?
They got used up so fast. I think my thing was set to like middle of the month or something because that's when I bought it. So hopefully I'll get some more in the next week or so. I want to get it and check that SD card though.
I want to see what's on that SD card so bad. That thing's been soaking for like almost a year now.
Well, I took it out after deer season and put it back in like mid-April for turkey season when I went up there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been there like mid-April to now, so like 3 months.
Still a lot of pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I'll take a good like hour, if not more, to go through them all. Because you didn't go through any of them during deer season.
No, I didn't think to just check it during deer season because I bought the unlimited. But it would be nice to see what's on there.
I don't have a single camera out yet, and it's been driving me crazy.
I thought you were scouting stuff already, though.
I've scouted. I just haven't put no cameras out.
I gotcha.
I got to help Michael move Saturday. They get the keys to the new house Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
They have a pond behind their house, but the dam's busted. And he's down there with the tree cutter because it's all overgrown. It's been busted for a handful of years. And he said a cottonmouth came out with some of this thick stuff. And the head of the cottonmouth was like 3/4 the size of your phone screen. So can you imagine like the head of a snake being that big?
That means the snake was pretty big.
I'm like, I'm assuming the snake got away. He's like, yeah, I got out of there as fast as I could. I didn't have a gun on me. I'm like, I want to change that, especially considering your kid's almost 2.
Yeah, or a shovel.
Yeah. Man, I was talking to his dad because we went over to his parents' house for 4th of July to eat with him. And it's crazy how the dam got busted. So the dam's not busted itself. The drainage pipe at the dam that keeps it from overflowing. So apparently coyotes was chasing deer one day, like 10 or 12 years ago. And the reason they know it's coyotes because they saw the footprints on the dam, and the deer jumped into the pond trying to get away from the coyote and got on top of the drainage pipe. And when it was trying to get on top of the drainage pipe, broke it off. And that's what caused the dam to drain.
It's a pretty neat way.
Like, what took down your pond? Oh, it was just a deer. No biggie.
Yeah. Apparently coyotes are like a problem, like in this area, or at least in Putnam County.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jordan's parents, they have 2 little chihuahuas, and like they let them go use the bathroom outside. They're building a fence right now, but they haven't had one, and their neighborhood's still getting built up. Like you saw it when you went over for the bridal party, but apparently, like some people have let their dogs out, and like coyotes will get them.
I know coyotes get real aggressive in like early January, February, because that's their breeding period. So it'll be interesting to see if they see an uptick during around those times.
Makes sense. I saw a dead coyote on the road not too long ago, like just driving around here.
Our dang neighbor ran over a turtle in our driveway today.
I saw like 2 or 3 like within the span of like 2 days, like before we went on our honeymoon and stuff.
I hate it.
I didn't. Well, I saw them in the road. I didn't run over them, but they were still moving.
I usually, if there's no cars behind me, I usually try to pull over and help them along their ways.
Yeah, I think both times I saw them, like my headlights were on, like early morning or in the evening.
So, never talk Jordan and let you fish on your honeymoon?
Well, the only way I really could have fished would have been like a deep sea charter.
Should have been like, does anyone have a fishing pole? I'm about to fish off the beach.
Yeah, I should have like got her to put that on the Facebook group chat or Facebook page that they have for that resort. Like, anyone down here have a fishing pole for my husband to use?
Should have had one of those collapsible fishing poles and reels.
Yeah, that or I was talking to my buddy Caleb before the wedding because he said he was there, but it was like the Thursday before, I think. And
Caleb, he's the one getting his captain's license, isn't he?
who?
Isn't Caleb getting his captain license, or one of the football players was getting his captain license or something like that?
For what? Huh? A captain license.
Yeah, to take people on like fishing charters and stuff.
Oh no, Caleb used to work with the DNR and out of like the Savannah area, but he's not doing that anymore. He's like, there's like so much like stuff he really didn't want to do. Like he wanted to do some wildlife stuff, but the stuff he was doing was like, I don't know how to explain it. It's different, not what he was expecting. So he's selling insurance now or whatever. But that's why I called him. I was like, hey, I'm gonna need some insurance after the wedding. Like my car insurance right now is like stupid, and they just upped it again for no reason, even though I haven't had any wrecks or nothing.
Who do y'all use?
I had Progressive, but I'm talking to him now. I sent him my stuff today. He's gonna send me a quote, so should be less.
We use State Farm. It's not bad.
You said what?
We use State Farm. It's not too bad.
Yeah, hopefully. I know when I changed it on Progressive before I got off of there, because they just automatically renewed my thing. Before I got off there, I changed my address and it went down like $15. But I was like, that's not much. But anyways, I was talking to him, and he's like, "You didn't do any fishing down there?" I was like, "I don't know if I can get a pole down there or whatever." Like, I don't know if Jordan would be too happy if I put one in my suitcase or something. And he was like, "I got an idea for a present for you for the wedding." He was like, "I'm not telling you, and you're not guessing it." And I was like, "All right. Like, if it has anything to do with holding a beer, I might know." He's like, "Do you already have one of those?" I was like, "No, I don't, but I've seen them, and like that would be perfect because you just put it in your carry-on or the suitcase. It wouldn't matter. It's just a koozie."
Right?
But it was like so close to the wedding, we wouldn't have been able to get one in time. But I should have thought about that like
Months in advance.
months in advance or a couple weeks.
Did y'all do anything on the trip that you weren't expecting y'all to do? Like anything like surprisingly fun?
Nah, dude, we literally went on the trip. We went to an all-inclusive resort in Punta Cana, the Hyatt Zilara. So they have like a adult side and then a like family side, and it connects. So like you can walk to the other side, but the kids can't walk over. And we pretty much just stayed on the adult side the whole time and just chilled by the pool and on the beach and had some drinks and didn't really do much except for just relax. We did meet this kid who's gonna be starting quarterback at App State next year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, him and his parents were down there. We
His
kind of like,
parents.
yeah, they went on their family vacation or whatever,
Mm,
but they were on the adult side because he's, I guess, 19 or something, and you only be 18 to drink in the other countries.
yeah. Is that
Kind
some of your free beer from the wedding?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not free for y'all.
Uh, well, it was free for me. I didn't buy it. But we kind of made friends with his parents because they started talking to us first. We made friends with like three different older couples, like been married for like at least like 15, 20 years.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. We did make friends with one couple that was our age that got married the same day as us, but that was it.
You're our first married couple friends that are actually our age.
Yeah, because Michael's what, like 8, 9 years
Michael will be
old?
31 this year. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like 2 years younger than Jordan's brother.
Yeah. I was telling my coworker about Bubba the night before the wedding, and he was cracking up. I explained the game Purple and stuff to him.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was just like, yeah, we were playing purple, but Bubba was like, dude, I've had like 8 beers already, and like I'm not even feeling it. Like I usually feel drunk by this point, and then we started playing purple, and like you drink pretty fast in that game, and
Well, he started before he even started the game Purple. He had like a pretty stiff pour of
of the Richland.
um,
And then he was like, "All right, I'm just gonna play the game with rum instead of beer." And then we didn't even play, but for like 30 minutes, maybe, not even.
it was about 30 minutes, and then we did Ring of Fire.
Yeah, and Bubba had to sit out on that.
Yeah. Ever since we played Texas Hold'em, I can't tell you how many videos on my YouTube feed. It's been nothing but poker.
Yeah, weird. Your phone does that.
I've come to find out that there's strategy when it comes to playing poker, but there's only strategy when you're playing with good players. Like when I'm playing with y'all's chumps, like I can't bluff because you're not smart enough to know the cards or that I'm bluffing.
Well, I know, like I'll read the pile and I'll be like, "All right, there's three. There's like, say, three spades on the table already, and there's still two cards. Like if the first turn is three spades, I'm like, okay, I don't have any spades, so that means someone's probably going to have a flush. If they just have one, they have a good chance of having a flush. Or if they have two, then they already have a flush. And you can tell when they're betting higher. But also, you don't know when they're bluffing. But if you're reading the table like that too, you could be bluffing, knowing that you have like two pairs already or something.
No.
That or like knowing like full houses and all that other stuff.
Well, it didn't help. Bubba didn't know how to play. Isaac was like iffy.
Hmm. I mean, I have seen a few videos on my Instagram and stuff recently too of it. I saw one video. It was like one of those $1 million games on TV on ESPN,
Hmm.
and the dude had won a little bit of money already. And him and the other dude went all in because they both had pocket aces.
I saw that clip on YouTube. It's like, what are the odds they both have the aces?
Yeah, and then like someone, what happened? The other dude like had a full house or something with him.
I can't remember. I
I
thought
don't
when I saw they split the pot because they both had the same hand.
No, one I saw, both of them had pocket aces. They both went all in, and like they did the full flip. And then one of them, he had like he ended up having two pairs or like a full house off of it, and the other dude lost. And I was like, what the heck? And then there was one other video I saw. The dude had four aces. He had pocket aces and two on the table, and he's like, I'm going all in too. And then the dude got a royal flush to beat him.
I told so like I said, I have to help Michael move Saturday, and we're driving from my mom's house Saturday afternoon, and we passed Michael, and he called me. He's like, "What are y'all doing?" I'm like, "We just got done looking at a house and some land, and we stopped at my mom's house." And he's like, "So we get the keys Saturday. You still gonna be able to help me move?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I could hear Morgan, his wife, in the background. I'm like, "Tell Morgan I'll help y'all move. That means she gives you a free day for us to go hog hunting." Laugh.
Right.
Deal. Because we have that we have like 1,500 acres we got access to pig hunt,
Yeah.
but it's not deer season. We haven't went yet.
So
It'd be nice to go.
with hog on private land, can you go anytime during the year?
Yeah, and you can hunt at night.
Yeah, I know you could hunt at night. I didn't know if it was like you still had to do it in the small game seasons or whatever.
No, no rules on pigs. They're the only animal I think that you can just like shoot and just let them just lay there and rot. Since
The
they're,
coyotes too, or no?
I don't know about coyotes. I'm sure. I don't know. I'd have to read into it. I don't have the heart to shoot a coyote. I know I probably should because I saw a few this past deer season, but kind of just watch them.
Well, just like listening to a Meat Eater podcast when they were talking about how coyotes produce like so rapidly, like even if you do shoot them, they still reproduce.
It looked too much like a dog to me.
Yeah. I also thought it was crazy how that's how they know when to reproduce or how much to reproduce is by doing well when they're howling, they're listening to how many are in their area.
Um, Speaking of meat eater, did you listen to that podcast where they had the marlin fisherman on?
No, I haven't listened to any recently just because I got like out of whack with my schedule changing and then going out of the country too.
They had a group of guys that are in a big marlin fishing tournament out in North Carolina. It's like one of the biggest tournaments in like the East, and there's a bunch of like Joe Blows that entered this like 50-something thousand-dollar tournament. It might even been more than that. And they caught the biggest fish, and they got disqualified because it had like a tiny little like bite mark on it, and they
I
lost $3.5 million because of it.
I saw a post on my Instagram or something because like the next biggest one wasn't even like barely half the size.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, that sucks.
they're protesting. I hope something comes out of it. I went to the bow shop yesterday. I was going to get some new arrows for the recurve, and They don't have any. That's the proper spine that I need. I'm like, they're like, what are you pulling? I'm like, well, it's a 70-pound longbow. He goes, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I want to put like 300 grains up front. He's like, you probably need a 300 or 340 spine. I'm like, y'all have any just bare shafts? They're like, no, we don't. I was like, oh, that sucks. But okay. So
You're
now I
not
got.
ordering any?
Hmm?
Did you order it from them?
No, I won't
Mm.
order it online. I, I have mixed feelings about buying stuff from the bow shop in town because like they upcharge everything because they have to make their money too.
Yeah.
Like, why would I spend the extra money when I can go online to Lancaster or something and buy it for $20, $30 cheaper?
Yeah.
Because I saw a release that I liked, and it's a stand release, and at the bow shop they had it for like $130, but online they sell it for $99. It's like, I'm like, you can't even compete with the price difference.
Yeah, I know. Like we were we were in one store the other day, and like you know how like the carts you take on the beach, like the beach wagons or whatever.
Hmm.
Like the cheapest ones you can find are like $100 a pop at least. Like in regular sports stores and online. We
Hmm.
saw one in like Publix. It was like $50, and I was like, we probably need
I
to get
saw one
that.
at Academy the other day on sale. It was like 40, $50 too. I don't
Yeah.
know if the summer is starting to die down that they're trying to get rid of them or what.
Well, I was like, why is it in Publix or Kroger or wherever we are? I was like, why is it in here? It's a grocery store.
You know, you miss working at Kroger.
Dude, I feel like I was making more working at Kroger than I was teaching because um just because I would have to work overtime every week, like at least 10 hours,
Yeah,
which was
I'm sure
nice.
you're close, especially considering you're what, assistant manager or something.
Just in one assistant like department manager.
Yeah.
So like really my salary if I only worked 40 hours a week would have been like 40K a year. But there's other weeks when I was making like a lot more than that, especially if the department manager was out and I had to cover and be like, I had to take over her thing, I would get her pay for that week.
Mm.
So if she's on vacation, I had to take her over, and her pay was like, it was like probably 150% more than mine. And there was one week she had COVID, and I had to work like almost 60 hours, and my paycheck was like over $1,000 after taxes that week.
It's a fat check for a week.
Yeah, for Kroger.
You excited to get back in the swing of things? Start with practice tomorrow?
Yeah, so had to go to that kickoff meeting this morning, like I was talking about, and it's kind of exciting because like I have some of the KSU stuff already that we use, and then I called one of my coaches. I was like at KSU. I was like, hey, um, like I'm trying to figure out, did y'all use like an app or something to draw up the scheme stuff, like the lanes and all that for kickoff, or whatever? He's like, I'll just send you some of the stuff I have. He like pulls out all like the playbook stuff, and I'm like, we just use all this.
When's y'all's first game? Sometime in September?
No, we we scrimmage or like a scrimmage or whatever in August. We open up with either Buford or Northside Warner Robins.
Oh, that's gonna be
We
fun.
play those like back to back, and that's like tough.
I mean, Northside Warner Robins gives me nightmares.
Yeah, and
You got to do a lot of punting.
yeah, I did do a lot of punting, and Buford, they got like the number one um, pocket passer quarterback for for this class coming up, or the next class behind it. And then later in the summer, like 2 weeks later, they got like the number one dual threat passer, like in the other class at quarterback. It's like, why do you need two number one quarterbacks?
Are those out of conference games technically?
Yeah.
No. At least you'll still be fine conference wise then.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Northside Warner Robins in our region or not, but because our region's all like in this area, so I don't know. All I know is soccer's gonna. I need to get on them.
When do you have to start doing stuff for soccer?
I was supposed to do something this summer, but I didn't have a way to get all their contacts or like reach out to them and say like, hey, let's do something this time. So
It'd be alright.
yeah,
How will you like being back in soccer? You've been out of soccer for a minute.
yeah. No, I haven't like been around it a lot at all in a while, but I think it'll be fun. Uh, I'm still like not used to like being the head coach yet because I haven't even done it or haven't done anything with it yet. But like the other day, the 80s like sent out a text to all the head coaches, and I was like, I forgot I'm a head coach.
Ooh. I unplugged my Mac because like the fan was on, and I touched a little charger thing, and like it burnt the crap out of my leg.
You still got the old Mac too?
Yeah. I mean, I don't use it for anything but for this because like work provides a computer.
Yeah, I've been having to use this one this summer because I don't get a work laptop till hopefully next week when we do our orientation stuff. If not, then I'll have to wait till pre-planning, I guess.
Yeah.
Like this one's just slow and all
I
messed
know
up.
you told me before, like from y'all's house, so you're what, like 30 minutes from Jordan's
Yeah,
parents? It's not bad.
yeah, we had to stop by there today so Jordan could get her like birth certificate and stuff to do that name change thing.
Adulting. I will say, when y'all start looking for houses, don't sign any contract with a realtor. We went and looked at that house Saturday, and the realtor's like, "All right, I need y'all to sign this broker engagement contract, basically saying like we won't use any other realtor but him." And I'm like, I don't think I want to sign this
Like just for the house or like ever.
ever. Like, it's like a 6 month contract, so it's like we couldn't use another real estate agent until like January. I'm like, no. I'm like, if I like you, I'll use you. If not, I'm just gonna find a different person.
It's like you only had one house that I liked.
Well, he didn't even find it. It's like we're finding the houses we like. He just happened to be the one that was showing it.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
within that contract, it said like how much his commission would be and stuff like that. And like, I don't know. It's just like no.
dude, we looked at all your other listings and this is the only one we liked.
We were there, and I'm like, so do you see anything wrong with the house that we hadn't seen? Because you see a lot of more houses than us. He's like, no, this house is in great shape. And like, I was talking to Elizabeth, I'm like, Elizabeth, the wood siding on the house, there's some rot, and like, I found a spot inside the house where it looked like the foundation was cracking. I'm like, either this guy just wants to get some quick money out of us, or like he don't know what he's talking about.
He's probably like, yeah, this is in great shape if you like haven't fixed it up since it's been built. Is what? How
Well,
old?
it was built in '93, and they did a crap ton of renovations, but like they did everything in their power that was cheap. So like they put fresh paint everywhere and stuff like that, but like neglected some other things. There's like huge white oaks all over the property, and a lot of them had big limbs overhanging the roof. And they're like, "Yeah, we've lived here for 3 years, and we've never had a big limb fall in a house." I'm like, "That's great for you."
Yeah, but it could be that fourth year and you're in it, and then
Yeah, ruin a roof.
it's not like you got a loan for that. You that's just your own money at that point.
I mean, insurance, I'm sure it covers some of it, but I don't know how much.
Yeah.
And then we went and looked at 24 acres, and that property was beautiful. I love that property, and it's a good price too. But there's no power running to it, so we
Yeah,
have to run power to it, and like I think it's a few $1,000s per 100 foot that you have to run power. So like running power to the property would probably cost just as much as the property.
probably.
Because there's like a quarter mile of the road that had no power to it. Like Elizabeth, do you think we could live off grid?
You get some solar panels.
Yeah, I mean, solar panels would be easy, but what do you do about Wi-Fi and all that stuff?
I don't know,
Exactly.
some fiber optic or something.
You gotta run fiber.
Get a hotspot from Verizon or something like that.
Yeah, let me try to work from home off a hotspot. I'm sure that'll do it.
Just carry it with you everywhere you go. Like you go to the living room to watch TV and you use the Wi-Fi. You gotta carry it with you. Or you're working and then Eli's on her phone.
Yeah,
Eli,
man, I was so upset. I was shooting my longbow. Uh, Maybe on Saturday night too. A lot of stuff Saturday, and I was bear shaft tuning, and I changed the point weight to try to stiffen the front a little bit of the shaft, and I watched that arrow curve around the target and start flying sideways, and I searched for like 40 or 50 minutes with a rake trying to move all the leaves, trying to find that arrow. I couldn't find it nowhere.
was it a wood arrow?
So it's a carbon arrow, but it looks wooden. So it's like I'm looking for something that looks like wood, and I had a
Yeah.
green knock on it. So it's like I'm looking for something brown and green in the woods. I'm like, this is not a great combo.
No. Yeah, we came back from our honeymoon and like the Wi-Fi wasn't working, and I was like, "Why isn't the Wi-Fi work?" I didn't even notice the Wi-Fi wasn't working. I ain't even got on my phone to look at anything yet. I open up the back door and I'm like, "Why is the coax cable that we just got put in like halfway on our like back porch area?" Because like it was right on the side of it. I was like, "Why is it like on the porch?" And I walk out there and things cut in half.
Really?
I'm like, dude, how did it get cut in half?
But
And then
like
I
cut in half or no?
like, so it wasn't really in half, but I looked at the little box where they connect it to where all the other Wi-Fi runs, and over there, there's like 7 or 8 pieces of the cable. I go and look on the ring because I remember like seeing a guy cutting the grass for our community or whatever. I see him drive by on the ring, and then on the thing where it shows the video, it's like he comes by, and then like 20 minutes later, it says like disconnected.
Oh, he ran over that thing.
Yeah, he ran over. I was like, dude, how do you run over a bright orange cord in green grass?
Yeah, I'd be calling them real quick.
Dude, we had the dude come out yesterday for our company and for our Wi-Fi company, and he fixed it and then he buried it too. And I was like, I need it buried so this doesn't happen again.
I'd be calling the landscaping company and be like, look, you have to pay for this.
Well, I haven't got charged yet, so hopefully it doesn't come up. But we emailed our property management, which was kind of screwed because like we signed with one lady, and then like 2 days after we paid our first payment or whatever, moved in, she sent us an email, everyone an email, and was like, "There's been a new um, leasing thing or whatever taking over July 1st." I was
The
like,
rates stay the same or no?
"Yeah, the rent's still the same. It's just like, okay, well." I don't know what to do. And then like she gave us the name and stuff in it, and then we tried to email the name that she gave us or the email, and it bounced back like this is not a real email. And then I guess Jordan somehow found an email, and she had put the wrong first name, but we found it, and she was like, "Sorry, we can't do anything about it because that was the landscaper that the last person hired, so you'd have to talk to her." I was like, I hope they don't charge us. If they do, I'm talking to her.
Yeah, the joys.
Yeah.
At least it didn't go up in rates.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't because, like, we had just signed our lease too.
So did you have to technically sign a new lease, or
No, everything just switched over. So, one thing that was kind of scary when that happened, though, was the lady, like, I guess she kind of did it back. Well, I don't know. It made sense, but like most places, you just pay prorated the first month if you
mm-hmm.
move in the middle of the month. But I guess because there's like such a high demand for this little strip of townhouses, it was like you pay the security deposit, which is a month of rent, and then you pay a full month of rent just to secure the place after that.
Interesting?
And then the next month you pay the prorated amount. So
That
like
seems backwards.
our July one was supposed to be the prorated, and when the new company first set it up in the county, is like we owe the full month for the first of July. We were like, no, we don't.
Mm,
Like the lady told us, it's in the lease and everything. And luckily they fixed it. But if they didn't, I would have been
pissed.
broke and pissed.
Well, if you don't get the wash and dry this weekend, you gotta go to Lake Sinclair.
Yeah, I'll be going somewhere, but it's supposed to be like rain until like next Wednesday. Well, like from Thursday to next Wednesday.
Really? That
Yeah,
sucks.
it is down here at least, but
We
it was
got
rain.
chance of rain Saturday, but it's only in the afternoon so far.
Yeah, it's been raining. It was raining for a majority of the day today, and then like 4 o'clock, it just cleared up and got sunny. So
They've been draining the lake here at the house pretty heavily, so I guess they're expecting rain too.
yeah, I
At
don't
least
know.
up north.
And then last night, I told you that was like the first time I used a charcoal grill because I got one from one of my dad's people he's helping move.
What'd you what'd you cook on there? Just chicken, or how'd you do the chicken?
So um, I was at Kroger on like Saturday, and my sister that already lives here and goes to Georgia College. She had texted me, and Jordan was like, "Hey, would you want to go to church or go to lunch or something on Sunday?" And I was like, "Well, we've been going to church with Jordan's parents because it's still only 30 minutes from us, and we usually eat with them afterwards. So maybe we can do dinner." She's like, "Yeah, that's cool." I was like, "We can do tacos, or I can grill like some burgers or chicken or something." She's like, "Chicken." I was like, "All right." Then I was like, might as well invite my other sister that lives in Athens just so they can all see the place. So both of my sisters came, and then my older sister's fiance came too. And I was in Kroger and I found chicken legs. There's like 10 or 11 of them, and it was only $5 for that many. And I was like, that's crazy because usually that many like chicken thighs are like $10.
Right?
So I looked in there today because we had to go to get something for dinner, and they didn't even have them in there today. It might have been like a weekend thing or something. Or they
Yeah,
only get,
maybe so.
yeah, I don't know, because it's like on the package itself, it was like a big $5 mark or whatever. But anyways, I just
That
like,
was all the tainted meat. That was the lab grown meat.
yeah, probably because there were some pretty big legs in there. But I just uh like seasoned like half of them in like this blackened Tony Creole's blackened seasoning.
hmm
I put some oil on them and rubbed it in and let it sit for like 2 hours, and then did the same with some lemon pepper and just threw them on there, and then buttered them up while they were on the grill.
Turn out better than your potatoes.
Yeah, a lot better than potatoes.
We made
Well,
two steaks the other night, and I blackened them, and those
mhm.
turned out real well.
I had tuna steak while I was at the resort.
I love tuna steaks.
Me too.
I made a side stop getting your bachelor trip just so I could buy some and bring them home.
Yeah, like we went to a steakhouse the first night, and I got a ribeye, and I was like, "Oh, they have ahi tuna too," and I was like, "I have to get that like next time. Like we have to come back and get it." And so like we came back another night because we tried to go to the hibachi place, and we went a little bit later, and they're like, "Yeah, you're not gonna be able to get a hibachi table till 9:15," and it was like 7:45. And I was like, "No, we're just gonna go to the steakhouse again." So I got one that night, and then the last night we started actually talking to the other couple that was our age, and we ended up going to dinner with them. We went there, and I got it again. And then like for breakfast, we would go to one of the buffet things. And they
Hmm.
had these little, I don't know, it's either like a really fancy thing or it's a thing from out of the country, but it's like a slice of bread, and they put like cream cheese and like either like smoked salmon or ahi tuna or some other type of smoked fish on it. So I got some of that on there with some other stuff on it.
Now, with an all inclusive, is food included in the price of the all inclusive?
Yeah, so that resort, like you just pay like X amount per night
Hmm.
for whatever room, and drinks and food are included on the resort. So there was like 7 or 8 different restaurants at the resort that we could go to. So there was like steakhouse, like hibachi, Italian, an Indian place, and then a few other places.
Elizabeth's parents was with us 4th of July weekend, and they have chickens and quails, and they brought us quail eggs. So I had quail eggs yesterday. Um, we just hard boiled them, but they're like little egg poppers because they're like that big, so you can just pop a whole egg at once. It was the best thing. I just had a little bowl of quail eggs.
You remember I shot that my deer. I still haven't had the backstrap yet.
You've been saving this back strap this whole time. Dude, the back strap's the first thing to leave my freezer.
Dude, I'm like tempted to make some poppers now.
Back strap, I get it back from the processor, and like that's what I'm having that night.
One of my buddies, or he ended up being a defensive GA my last year at Kennesaw. Um, he's like big into hunting. Like they have a bunch of land in Alabama or something. But he said when they were younger, or even in like high school and stuff, when they would hunt and they would get a deer, they would cut the back straps out themselves and like eat them like that morning or whatever for breakfast, and then take the rest of the deer to the processor.
Yeah, I wouldn't waste the back straps on poppers. If I was you, I'd thaw it out and cut them in like half-inch slices and just sear them on each side. Well, dip them in Worcestershire sauce.
Hmm.
Uh, it's either Worcestershire or something else. I can't. Dales, not Worcestershire. Dip them in Dales, and then just quick sear them on each side, so it's pretty rare in the middle. That's my favorite way to do it.
I don't know if I could get Jordan to eat rare deer meat.
Just don't tell her what it is. She's not sitting next to you listening, so
Yeah, she's went in there and took a bath or something.
Elizabeth's been on my case. I've been I've been saying for the last month and a half I need to order some arrows, need to order some arrows. Because like I don't have my setup yet. And she's like, you really need to do that. I'm like, I know, but I don't want to spend the money. Like we're looking for a house now. I couldn't believe how fast we got pre-approved for a house. That was pretty nice.
Yeah,
Took all of like 30 minutes. There's just like not too many houses in the area you want to buy in.
yeah, I know. We just need to find a house that has like at least 20 acres on it already.
It'd be nice.
Because like realistically, you only need about 15, if that, to hunt.
I just hate having that little bit of land is like you shoot a deer and they run. depending where you are on the property, then you have to go and knock on doors.
Well, yeah, if you're bow hunting, yeah,
Because you know I like to bow hunt.
yeah, I know. You just gotta get really good.
I hit them. I'm solid. I'm batting 1,000 on does right now. Does are in trouble when it comes to me. It's that
If you don't
fever.
let them walk.
It's that fever. I got that buck fever.
I have deer fever. I want to get one as soon as I see one. I'm gonna get it or try to get it at least, and then maybe for while I'm eating that one, I'll look for a buck, and then if I'm getting low, I'm like, all right, I need another one, another doe.
Well, now you live close enough to your in-laws. Just get them to get a deep freezer and just shoot a handful of doe.
Yeah, give them some.
Yep. Should get your father-in-law back into hunting.
Yeah, he's always gone on like private land because his sister had some land when they lived in Georgia, and then they moved to Florida and like got a boat and everything.
Mm.
So he hasn't been in a while. But her
Well,
brother goes, and they live like an hour from here.
not bad.
But he's got a buddy, like one of his best friends has some land apparently, and we were supposed to go turkey hunting with. I was supposed to go turkey hunting with him last year, and he ended up like doing something else.
I'm looking forward to August. August will start small game season. I want to go back out to that WMA and try to get on some pigs again and do some scouting while I'm hog hunting.
Yeah, I'd like to get out and do some type of scouting at one of these WMAs, but like I might get in trouble if I go out
Yeah,
because I'm gonna be so busy during the week.
just go on Mondays.
I'm talking about like once the season starts and everything, or once school starts.
Well, you don't want to scout when school starts. It'll be too close to season then.
Well, I mean, like just walk the area and figure out where to go set up.
Yeah.
Cause like I've been to one around here, but that one's probably like 45 minutes from here.
You can start doing some e-scouting. At least start looking at maps and stuff online.
I gotta figure out where I can freaking park online. Because the last one I thought I had it figured out where I could park, and it like pulled up in that area, and it was like all private property. Because I was like on the back side of it. From the address gave me the back side of it. I was
Nice.
like, what the heck? And by the time I finally parked, it was like the sun was starting to rise, and I didn't even need a headlight or a headlamp. And I walked in like 10 or 15 minutes, and I was like, dude, I'm just gonna set up in a tree right here. But I did see a buck. He just wasn't in my range.
Yeah. I'm excited. I want to come down there a few times, or at least try to, and hunt down there with you.
Yeah, we can do that, and then we're definitely gonna try to do a camping trip on Alatoona Corpse Engineer since we got that
That
uh,
permit.
the permit.
There's just one island at the WMA that's closest to my house that I want to scout on, but you can only get to it by kayak. So like, if I get out there, I know there's not gonna be anyone else out there hunting.
You just buy one of those river tubes.
I was actually Michael's dad. He's a pretty avid hunter, and I was telling Michael and him about the permit. I'm like, we shoot something and we kayak in there. I don't know how we're gonna get the deer out. I told him how we thought about the pool float idea, and apparently that's pretty common in Alaska and stuff. Is like if people shoot like elk and moose and stuff like that, they have like inflatable rafts that they pack meat out with. So like it wasn't too bad of an idea we had apparently.
Yeah, because like obviously you want to get like one of those cheap pool floats from Walmart. Like there's like river tubes that they have for like $15 that are a lot more heavy duty and hold like more weight
Hmm.
because they're meant for like going down a river.
Yeah, and you get like a 2-person like river float. I mean that's more than enough.
Yeah. We'll just take that big float that Bubba got that one summer that holds like 12 people.
What I'd be worried about for you is your climber's pretty heavy. I don't know how you attach your climber to the kayak without it putting you off balance, and your bow.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
When you get some free money, or take some of your wedding money, you should invest in a saddle.
Oh, it's not my wedding money. Apparently, it's ours.
That's definitely how marriage works. Yeah,
It's like if you spend any of it, you're in trouble.
I got some climbing sticks, so all you have to do is get the saddle.
How much is that?
It depends what site you look at, but some of them aren't too bad. You know, it's like anything else in the hunting industry. You can spend a lot of money, or you can cheap out.
Yeah, and then just
Only thing about the cheap ones is like they're not very comfortable.
hope they don't break.
I don't think they break. I mean, you're not that big of a person.
Yeah, that's true.
We went over to my mom's house after looking at that house, and my little brother's taller than Elizabeth now. He's only 13,
Man,
so
he had a big
Elizabeth's like
growth.
what 5'7" maybe, and
Yeah.
like he's like uh, he's like a little bit past my shoulder, and I'm 6'1", 6'2",
Mhm.
so it's pretty big for a 13-year-old.
Had a big growth spurt.
Yeah, he did. They play in the Little League World Series in like a week or two, or at least the first rounds. He's on like the West team for
Mhm.
like the Dixie League, I guess.
Where are they playing that at?
I think the first game's in Opelika. So
Okay.
he seems excited, a little nervous, but it's like he might be able to be on TV.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I remember when I was in elementary school, we watched the Columbus team win.
yep. Old Kyle Carter.
Yeah, we all went to the cafeteria and watched it.
I had friends growing up that was cousins with Kyle Carter.
Really?
Yeah,
It was like him and I think his kid named like Brandon Pate or something Pate.
I can't remember. I just know Kyle Carter is the biggest name
Mhm.
because everyone made a big deal about his hat sitting sideways on his head.
I
I think it's because he had like a sty or a stint or something like that in his head.
don't remember. I just remember they won, and then like 2 years later, Warner Robins won, but they had loaded bats or something.
I don't remember
I don't know if it was that team had loaded bats, but like it was the year before or the year after they got busted for it.
that. my my man room right now, the floor looks atrocious. So my mom gave Elizabeth this antique like sewing box that my aunt gave her from Germany. There's nothing
Mhm.
but sewing stuff scattered all across the room with her going through it.
Mm, nice.
I've been looking at getting a bino harness for the season because I want to actually carry my binoculars in the woods with me this year. And
Mm,
I've been looking at the Everly stock bino harness. I know a lot of people like the marsupial gear and like the FHP stuff, but like I think for like what you get and like the price wise, the Everly stock might be a little bit cheaper.
yeah.
I don't know. They have like a molly pack where you can put your pistol on your chest too. So when you're walking in the woods, I like kind of keeping my pistol kind of handy when I'm walking out at night.
Yeah. You never know what you're gonna run into.
I'm not worried about animals. I'm worried about some psychopath hiding in the woods.
Well, that or like a poacher or something.
Yeah.
Think that
You
you're
you see all like the North Gang Law and like those TV shows, and like they'll stumble upon like weed grows and stuff like that on public land. It's like What if I stumble onto someone doing something that they shouldn't be doing?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how common. I'm sure it's common in Georgia. I just never stumbled upon any grows or anything like that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And you're the one growing
Hey.
it.
Don't get me flagged or nothing.
So when are we going on the next bachelor trip? You saying like a month or so?
I thought we were just doing it like every June.
I think it should be like a bi-yearly thing,
Every 2 years?
or twice a year thing.
Yeah.
I bought a tab. That's the only thing I bought from the archery shop Sunday. I bought a tab for the longbow, so I ain't got to shoot with my gloves on no more.
So last night I was me and Jordan were sitting in bed about to go to sleep, and I was like, I like clicked on the Delta app because we were using it, and it like popped up on my suggested things. And I was like, I wonder how much a flight is to like one of the ports to go on a cruise. It's only like $200 a person for a round trip, and I was like, that's not a lot compared to what we just spent on flights.
Right?
So I was like, that wouldn't be too bad. And then I was like, I wonder what cruises are open or like what the prices are for like spring break and then like anytime during the summer. And I was looking, I was like, oh, these aren't that bad at all. And then Jordan's like, no, we have to stay in a balcony room if if we go. And I was like, okay. And then like I click and like it says like the inside ones, the ocean view where you just have the window and then the balcony. And I like clicked it and I was like, okay, I mean, I don't think we're gonna go next year.
That big of a difference.
Yeah. It was like it was like you can go like on a 5 night cruise for like 450 or 500 a person, or even less than that for like the regular old just middle of the ship. You don't have any windows or nothing.
Hmm.
Like maybe 500 person for 5 night. You go to the balcony, it's like $1,200 a person.
Just for a view.
Well, that or like there are some like 6, 7, $800 a person for balcony, but it's like middle of October or like November, like when nobody else is going. I'm like, I don't have time to do that.
I want to go on an Alaskan cruise.
That would be fun too.
I've always heard those are great because you get to see like the whales and all that stuff.
And like the Northern Lights if you at the right time.
Yeah, I want to see Northern Lights.
Apparently in like 2024 or 2025, that happens like every like century or something. Like you can see the Northern Lights from a few different cities in the US like that have a higher points
Hmm,
for like 1 night or 2 nights or something like that.
that'd be pretty cool. So
Yeah.
when are you gonna start saving up for an elk trip?
We gotta figure out how much it's gonna cost each month for our student loans and stuff.
That's all. That's all logistics. It's not what I wanted to hear.
I'll just start like getting some cash back when I go to grocery shopping every now and then.
Exactly. Just some squirrel money.
Yeah.
We just got done filling out FAFSA and all that stuff for Elizabeth's school.
Hmm.
She starts back next month.
You know what? Like it's crazy because I was like talking to my sister. She's about to go to college. I was like, "You got Hope or Zell Miller?" He's like, "Hope in Georgia covers like 75% tuition or whatever.
Hmm.
Zell Miller covers 100% of tuition." She's like, oh, I have Hope, so I get all my tuition covered." I was like, "What?" And apparently this year they're starting. You just have to have a certain GPA for like Hope, and it covers all tuition.
Yep.
You don't have to have Zell Miller. It's just Hope now.
Yep. That'd have been nice, huh?
I mean, it wouldn't have done like a whole lot, but it would have been like a good bit less.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
majority of my loans came from, like, housing
yeah.
because I had Pell Grants covering some more of my tuition, so it helped out, but that would've still helped out a lot.
It just saved like 50 grand off of if not more, off of Jordan's loans.
No, most of hers was housing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she didn't get any Pell Grants because, like, my parents filed separately, so we got more money, um, for each kid, like, through the Pell Grants. But,
Mhm.
like, if you married, filed jointly, and both of them are working, they're not gonna get as much. So, when you have kids, think about
Maybe sooner than later.
that.
Maybe
Yeah.
sooner than later for you too.
No, no, don't say that. We just got married, we're trying to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's not what that honeymoon night said.
No, it's just a honeymoon.
Mhm. All right, we've been on for about an hour. You ready to log off?
Yeah, probably. Need to get in there and get up at, like, 5:30.
I gotta get up at 1 in the morning. I got something I gotta do for work for the UK.
Just tell them to wake up at 1 to work with you.
Well, for them to wake up, so they're like 4 or 5 hours ahead of us. So for them to wake up at 1, it'd be what? I don't want to do the mental math.
It'd be, like, 9 o'clock in
Yeah,
the evening. 8, 7 or 8 in the evening, probably.
yeah.
Well, just tell them not to do it so early. Just tell them to wait later in their workday. That way you're already up.
I should get the guy that works for me that lives in Washington to do it because I think they're a few hours behind us.
Oh, Washington State.
Yeah, I want to be like 11 his time, 10 or
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, Caleb, I was talking about getting the insurance from him, but he works in Tennessee now because he does insurance now.
Hmm.
And I was texting him. I was like, "When's a good time for me to call you?" He's like, "Around lunch." And I was like, "Are you on Eastern or Central time where you're at?" And you know what he responded? He said he just sent the Riley Green lyric. Said spring break down in Panama City. It was 2000 and something. You know the song?
I mean, I know it's by Riley Green, but I can't think of the words verbatim.
The title of it is Georgia Time.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, nice.
All right. Well, until next time.
See ya.